Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%. And in today's episode, what I want to talk to you about is a very specific interview question that can be very, very tricky. So this particular interview question is, why do you want to leave your current job? Let me say that again. Why do you want to leave your current job? So what makes this interview question so tricky is that it's one of those things where it's kind of like deceptively difficult. Okay, so it comes across as a very simple, very easy question to answer in the job interview process. It's very common. And as a matter of fact, most people have like these canned answers that they like to provide when asked this question. Okay, and in most instances, those canned answers are horrible. They're horrible answers and they don't serve you well in the job interview process. And you know, the interesting thing about this question is that it's really an opportunity, right? Like if you answer this question really well, you can create like a tremendous amount of positive momentum for yourself in the job interview process. On the other hand, if you don't answer this question well, you can create a tremendous amount of negative momentum for yourself in the job interview process. So again, by the end of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you, number one, what the mistakes are so that you can avoid those mistakes when trying to answer this question. And on the other hand, I'm going to also share with you how you can answer this question like a pro, like how you can answer this question and dramatically improve your odds of coming across in a favorable manner on the end of this, at the end of this question. Okay, so that's what I'm going to share with you. Let's talk about it. Today's episode is being brought to you by The Ugly Truth About Getting Hired, how to land the job of your dreams regardless of the competition. Here's the reality. We are in one of the most competitive job markets that has ever existed since the beginning of mankind. And even more importantly, most candidates experience a tremendous amount of pain, rejection, and failure in the job interview process because they simply have the wrong interview strategy. And so what I want to do is I want to share with you some ideas, strategies, and concepts in this book that are going to give you an unfair advantage as you're going through the job interview process. Now, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in learning more about, I want to give you a free copy of this book. So all you have to do to pick up your free copy is head over to my website, which is www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, that's www.theuglytruthbook.com, and you can pick up your free copy of this book today. One more time, www.theuglytruthbook.com. All right, so without further ado, let's dive right in. So again, what we're talking about here is that dreaded interview question, which is, why do you want to leave your current job? Now, here's what, let's start here. Okay. So you got to first understand that this question can present itself in many different ways. Okay. It can be asked many different ways. Like a lot of times, like when I'm vetting a candidate as an executive recruiter, I'll ask them, so what's your motivation for being open to opportunities? Right? Like that's the exact same question ultimately, right? Like people, you know, you gotta, you know, some people might say, you know, why do you want to leave your current, your current company? Some people may say, you know, why are you interested in our company? Like these are all variations of the same question, which again is, why do you want to leave your current job? Okay. So here's the deal. Before we dive into how to answer this challenging interview question, what I want to do is I want to start by helping you number one, understand what the biggest mistakes are when trying to answer this question. Like there are three major mistakes that I see candidates make when they attempt to actually answer this question. Okay. And so I want to go over that with you so that you can avoid them like the plague. Okay. So let's start here with mistake number one. Mistake number one is that they will typically, candidates will typically diminish their own value when they try to answer this question. Now, how do they diminish their own value? They'll say something like, I'm always open to opportunities, right? We've all heard this before. And by the way, every time I hear somebody say, that, when I ask them, so why do you want to leave your current company, or why are you motivated to make a change? And the first thing out their mouth is, well, I'm always open to opportunities. That's not a good response. Okay. It's horrible. It sounds horrible every single time I hear somebody say it like that. And the reason why is I want you to take a step back and think about this for a second, right? If that is your answer, is you're always open to opportunities, then why should a hiring decision maker want to hire you? There's not a single hiring decision maker on planet Earth that wants to hire somebody and then 6 months to 12 months later have to replace that hiring decision, right? And why? Because guess what? If you're always open to opportunities, then, what's to say that 3, 6, 12 months down the line, you're not going to go somewhere else that you think might have a greater opportunity, right? If you're always open to opportunities, then that means that there's always the opportunity for somebody to come and grab you out of our organization. So why should I hire you to come into my organization if you're always open to opportunities? Now, here's the thing. Most candidates don't really consider that when they say this. And I don't know I'm not exactly sure who made this a popular response, because I hear it all the time. But it doesn't sound good. Okay. When you say, and that's the thing that's funny, is because when I hear people say it to me, they say it with this sense of pride, as if, man, I really rocked it on that answer. I really answered that. I blew them away with that answer. No, you didn't. It sounded stupid. That's the reality. Okay. It's a dumb answer. Okay. So if nothing else, don't ever say that again. Right? If somebody asks you why you're motivated to make a change, or why are you looking to leave your current job, don't say because I'm always open to opportunities. The second mistake that I hear come up a lot is, a candidate will bash their current employer, right? They'll say negative things about their current employer, right? They'll say stuff like, well, I have concerns about my company's financial stability, or, I just couldn't, I didn't really like the direction that my current company is going down. So, I'm trying to jump ship. They'll say all kinds of stuff. I've heard all kinds of responses like this. Listen, let me explain why this is not good. Okay. This is not good because what most hiring decision makers hear when you talk like that is they hear somebody who will potentially talk like that about them at a later date, right? Like if you'll bash the person that you're currently employed with, the people that are currently cutting a check for your services, what makes them believe that you won't do that if for one reason or another, you don't like how everything is at our organization, right? See, this is how a lot of hiring decision makers think when they hear people say stuff like this. So here's the thing. Don't ever say anything negative about the company that you're currently at. That should not be your motivating reason, even if it is your motivating cause for being open to opportunities. You never disclose that. Mistake number 3. They make it all about themselves. Okay. So as a candidate, right, I see candidates do this a lot. So why are you looking to leave your current employer? Well, I feel like I'm ready to get a salary increase, or I want to move forward in my career and all this type of stuff. Let me tell you why that is not a good answer. Why that's a horrible answer. Because it's all about you. Okay. But the problem is that there's no company or no hiring decision maker that's looking to hire someone because they want to improve their situation. Like they're looking to hire people because they want somebody to come in and help them solve their problems. Right? So if your motivating reason, if your source of motivation for being open to opportunities and being open to leaving your current company is strictly about you, why should I care about that as a hiring decision maker? You see how that works? So don't make it about you. So let me say these three again. Number one, right? Don't say that you're always open to opportunity. That diminishes your value. Number two, right, is you got to be careful. Okay. Number two, let's go back to it. Number two is you don't want to bash your current employer. Okay. And then number three, you want to make sure that you don't make it about yourself when you're answering that question. Right. And here's what I want you to understand. I want you to avoid those three ways of answering that question like the plague. Don't ever say these things. Okay. Because it doesn't add value to you as a candidate in the company's eyes. Okay. So instead, what I want you to do, the key to answering this question correctly, is that you want to focus and make it 100% about them. Right? The key to coming across as extremely valuable when you answer this question is that you want your answer to be all about them, right? All about their company, all about why you're interested in them. Okay? So let me give you an example of what this sounds like, right? When I say make it about them. So let's say for a second that I was interviewing, right? And they asked me the question, so Rodney, why do you want to leave your current job? Here's what I might say. I might say something like, thank you for asking. It's not that I'm currently interested in per se leaving my job, but because here's the thing, I really enjoy my work and I really enjoy the company that I'm working with. But I've always been a huge fan of your organization for years now. And when I happened to come across this particular opportunity on LinkedIn, I became instantly intrigued. You know, I felt like after reading this job description, I just kind of felt like this was the type of role where I could add a tremendous amount of value to the team. And I felt like this would be a great opportunity for me to make a positive impact at a world-class organization like yours. And so that's why I was interested, and that's why I'm open to considering this opportunity and considering leaving my current situation. See how that sounds? See how I focused all of my effort and energy in my answer based on, I made it about the company. Right? I made it about the company. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about I'm always open to opportunities. It wasn't about any of that stuff. I made it about the company. Right? And here's the deal. Okay. When you do stuff like this, it gives hiring decision makers those warm and fuzzies. Everybody wants to feel like they made a great decision on where they're currently working at. You see what I'm saying? Everybody wants to feel that. Everybody wants to feel those warm and fuzzies. And when you make your answer to that question about them, they feel special. And in turn, they feel special about you. Okay. And here's one last thing that I will notate. Okay. You want to make sure that you do your research on an organization before being asked that question. So before you even engage in the interview process, you want to do a tremendous amount of research on the company that you're interviewing with, right? Because you never want to lie, exaggerate, or embellish, because listen, the reality is these hiring decision makers can smell BS a mile away. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to do your research so that you can genuinely make it about them. You understand? Like if you apply to their company and you never heard of them before, guess what? Do some research. Find out find the things about that company that make it even more of an appealing opportunity for you. And then when you get asked this question, then you can draw from that and make your response all about them. Listen, hopefully you got great value out of today's episode. If so, do me a favor, drop a note in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be dropping content every single Tuesday. So listen, I'll see you in the next episode. Be blessed.